Hey guys, I love Genesis chapter 1 where he said, "Let there be light," and there was light. In Psalm 119, it says, "The entrance of his word gives light. It gives understanding to the simple." And light excels darkness. Even darkness becomes light in the Lord. And he's the father of lights. And I was looking at 2 Corinthians chapter 4, and I was reading verse 6, and it says, "For God who said, 'Light shall shine out of darkness,' is the one who has shone in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Christ." So in the beginning of creation, one of the first components God introduced into the spectrum of things was light. You know, there's an album cover, "The Dark Side of the Moon" by a British band, Pink Floyd. And the art was of a prism and light going into it, and then the prism spreading out the different colors of the spectrum. And it's an iconic album art. And it just reminds me of when God comes in on our lives, and then he diffuses and he refracts and he manifests himself through us. Interesting things come out. And, you know, it's just profound what it says here. It says, we have this treasure in earthen containers. We have this treasure. What treasure? That light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Christ. Earlier on, I was talking with you out of Psalm 27, where he said, when you said, "Seek my face," my heart said to you, "Lord, my face, or thy face, I will seek." And here in chapter 3, verse 18, it says, "But we all with unveiled faces, beholding or looking as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into that same image from glory to glory, just as from the Lord, the Spirit." You know, I was on a hospital visit with my wife the other day, and we were in the elevator of one of these local international hospitals here in St. Louis where we live. And in walked two police officers, a male and a female. So they got in, and it was interesting. My wife began to pray protection over them, like when the doors closed. And they were just, you know, the female officer had a mask on. We were in the hospital, so maybe she was not feeling well and was protecting the people from it. And then the man, he turned to me and he said, "You look familiar." And I said, "Oh, well," and he said, "Are you a preacher?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm trying to get my life together, and I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there." And I thought, wow, you know, he had a bulletproof vest on, I remember, because when I put my hand on his back, I could feel that big old vest, you know, which protects him. It protects his vitals. But then he was, on the other hand, spiritually being very vulnerable. And the God who said, "Let there be light," and who shines in our hearts, I mean, somehow, you know, I don't think he's ever been to our church. I don't think he recognized me in a you know, personal way. I think there's that camaraderie that believers have. There's that Galilean accent. And we are the light of the world. We're the salt of the earth. We're a fragrant aroma of Christ unto God. To some, death to death, but to others, life to life. I mean, I've been in situations where people don't like it, you know, but then you get around a believer and it's like, man, did we go to high school together? Do I know you? And we find out, no, we're Christians. You know, we're not even in the same church or even in the same movement within church, but we're believers. And there's that light. And I pray that let there be light in your situation today, in your world today, your circumstances today, that remembering that the joy of the Lord is always your strength. I pray he'd strengthen you with this encouragement. Treasure in an earthen vessel. And what does it say? that the greatness of the power will be of God and not from ourselves. Amen.